can tell you, as soon as she comes out or drops out of her vehicle, our cameras will be there and we shall follow the fanfare as she's ushered in. And as we speak, I've been joined by Elikem Kotoko. Of course, I will ask the first question and then Randy will take it up. You are a young man. As a former vice chancellor or somebody who has excelled in academia, when you people were young student leaders, I am sure there are some fine names that came across. How are you going to leverage on what she brings on board to weave the interest of the youth front, not beyond 10, to believe in the NDC story and vote for John Mahama come 2024?
Thank you so much. Thank you. The fact that our running mate is spotless, without dent, is enough reason for us to have every belief in what her credentials are. In the first place, it is also one of the reasons why, if you have looked carefully, among the invitees to this program, we have made sure that it is not only to the TAIN, but also to the SRC, which is the umbrella union for which the TAIN belongs to. So we have decided to make sure that, look, as running mate, as a woman who represents a certain majority of the voting populace, there is a need for us not to only leverage on that, but to propagate the good deeds of this noble woman and what she brings on board. Don't forget that she is a woman. She comes from a certain constituent, which is the academia. She also comes from another constituency, which is the central region. And you look at all this with her own credential of what she has achieved in her career. Don't forget that she's not new to politics. She has served as Minister of Education. So aside being in the education sector or in academia, she has played major pivotal role to where we have reached now as a country.
Yeah. Well, so but one other key thing somebody will ask is that we've seen this ticket in 2020.
Yes.
What's going to be the difference at all?
What's going to be the difference is that the NDC has vowed to be more vigilant than we were in 2020. We shall reach out to many places than we did in 2020. Don't forget, I have held the strongest belief that so long as you're not been able to make it for the card, it means that maybe we should have gone an hour more or further in our campaign, which we didn't. We should have gone a market further. We should have gone a community further. We should have gone further to another school. So if we have not done that enough, we will make sure we leverage on that. And with the energy we have, may I suffice it to say that if the future is for us, that future who has demonstrated that he is not only role women play in our body politics, and the reason for them to play active role by being flag bearer and actually accepting to have or deciding to have a woman
a vote based on all of the points that you have mentioned.
The nitty-gritties of some of the shortfalls, some of the errors we found out, some of the ills we found out has prepared us to brace more than better for 2024. It is the more reason why I'm saying that we are going to leverage on every quality she brings on board. We may have not done that enough in 2020. 2024 presents us with the opportunity to increase in that, to leverage on what she brings on board. That is why I'm letting you know that she is spotless, no dent. You have no political gimmicks to play around her as being corrupt, etc. Look, I'm sure you are aware, being in the media, that since her nomination, even as far back as 2020, the NPP and government have done everything to dig deeper to find out if they could get any spot on her, which they never did. And she comes from academia. This is another class that she appeals to so strongly, and her demeanor is another major one. Don't forget that aside all of this that I'm outlining to you, she's a woman of virtue whose credentials are without question. So she has played a major role in the academia. She comes from the central region, which is another strong and critical region when it comes to our politics.
But that's actually a swing region.
Exactly.
And we've seen the NDC go in for running mates from that region.
But you see, the reason why it is a game changer also, if you recall, there's a new dynamics to even our Ghanaian politics today. Women play a very pivotal role. The population of women to even men, you know, is over 52% as compared to 48% for the men. So having the majority on your side also speaks volumes. Then it also brings to fore the fact that the very credential of the person in question is of high repute. And it is unquestionable, very spotless. So one cannot find any dirt on such a character. So that is why I'm letting you know that we as the party, as NDC, would go the extra mile to make sure that we tighten the loose ends. We go the extra mile to make sure we reach the homes, the hamlets, the communities, the churches, the schools, the mosques. And on the streets, places where we may not have reached in 2020. And also ensure that we will be more vigilant than we were in 2020.
Would you describe this ticket to be the perfect match for this election?
It is not the perfect match, it is what I call the perfect pair. Because if you look at it critically, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has constantly and consistently put himself out as a statesman, as a nation builder, as a visionary leader who has Ghana at heart and has at all times make it look very obvious that look, he is incorruptible, he stands for the people of Ghana, and this has been his hallmark. Now he has gone further to decide to choose a woman, a female, as his running mate to complement his effort. And it is not just any woman at all. This is a woman who has achieved all there is in academia. This is a woman who has played also at the table of politics and has also it's also denseless. And so if somebody of that repute comes on board the ticket, it adds a lot of volume to the ticket of the NDC. It is the more reason why we know and we are convinced that come December 7, 2024, and between now and that time, we shall hit the road, we shall knock on every door, we shall make sure we get onto the streets, in the communities, at homes, in churches, at mosques, at every place, to tell the Ghanaian the NDC story.
Very well, Elikem, thank you so much. Let me not waste too much of your time. You would have to catch up with your other colleagues. Thank you so much for speaking to us. And there you heard Elikem Kotoko speaking to us on what he feels Professor Jane Nana will bring onto the table as far as this 2024 election is concerned. I mentioned that it is a make or break. It is a crucial one for the National Democratic Congress as they are bent on wrestling power from the New Patriotic Party. But a lot of factors will play in this particular election year. Of course, the economy is one of the key things that every voter will be looking out for. How well has the NPP managed the economy? Look at how depreciating our city has become in recent times. You can talk about hikes in fuel prices, the goods and services as well on the rise every now and then. These are the key indicators or key factors a lot of the voters will be looking out for. But again, we also know so well that the role, or maybe the position of the vice president is mainly on managing or sitting or serving as the chairman or the chairperson of the economic management team. Now, people ask the question, shouldn't we be looking at an economist who will be manning that particular position? If that is anything to go by with, will that favor the NDC as well? It's a question quite a number of people keep asking every now and then as well. But well, Eric is here, and let me just get a bit closer to Eric and find out what exactly he also makes of that argument that people have raised over the period ever since the name of Professor Jane Nana has been mentioned. The economy is one key thing people will be looking out for, and to form basis for people to vote. Should we not be looking at somebody with the economic background, an economist who will serve on the economic management team as a chairperson?
I think the running mate will obviously be partnering the president. The president has made it clear that he's going to do a lot of consultation. He has also made it public that as soon as he's declared the president and then the transition period is over, he's going to engage every critical stakeholder for them to know the real state of the economy, because many of us believe that what government is presenting before us does not reflect the true state of the economy. Now, the reason why he's doing so is to get all hands on deck. That's why even if you look at his campaign, is what he has christened the Building Ghana tour. Yeah. And so he has said it from day one. You remember when he went to Ho to officially announce his interest to contest the 2024 elections, he said it will be an all hands on deck approach. So I foresee a former president who has already set the signals right, and many stakeholders here he's engaging are already exhibiting what they christen or call the trust in him. And so recently he met the National Association of graduate teachers and other teacher unions. It was obvious. He's met other critical stakeholders who have also suggested their readiness. It is one thing getting the other Ghanaian realize that it is not to say that one person has everything in his or her head that carries all the wisdom. This current regime has demonstrated that they are not ready to listen. They assume that whatever they are doing is right, and to the extent that even when you advise, they take it that you perhaps are provoking them and they will do it more. Because of that, we are seeing where we are, and even when they have run us into a ditch, it will look like they are not ready to listen. The NDC didn't do that. The Senche consensus that was built even before we went to the IMF is an example of somebody who will say it today and has a track record to represent what he has done before. So the economy we have today shouldn't be an all NDC affair. It should be an NDC leading Ghanaians who matter to contribute their quota by way of suggestions. Once there is this buy-in under the umbrella 24-hour economy, I presume that things will wake up. Investor confidence in this country has also dropped drastically. I can tell you that from the conversations I monitor, from people who call me even as a media practitioner, I get the impression that that lost confidence will come back if John Mahama represents the face of our country, looking for opportunities to transform the economy, to create opportunities for the youth, and to build.
Eric, I'm going to cut you short. I want us to go back to Wisdom Hedejome, who is also standing by to give us updates on what's happening around that area. Wisdom, if you are ready, let's hear what exactly is happening at your area.
Well,